Welcome to Core Finance, live from London, sponsored by Beaufort Securities, live on Facebook at Core Finance TV. In terms of the Twitter handle, at Core Finance TV. Matt Brown, old boy in the market. How many years have you actually been in the market?
20. I got to 20. I don't know what I get for that, an egg timer or something, or a carriage clock, I don't know. But 20 years, and it's flown by.
Excellent. Right, let's kick off without further ado. Market movers, the headlines, market weight, Fed minutes, digests, IMF, China credit report. A couple of bullet points on each of those, please.
Yeah, a couple of things. Right, let's start off with the Fed minutes, due out at 7 o'clock tonight. Now, the market's looking for further detail on the balance sheet reduction. And potentially as well, are we going to see a rate hike in December? The market, I think, is about 30% chance of a December rate hike at the moment. Let's look out for the minutes. That will be the key focus today, certainly for anyone trading the US dollar. Look out for that. And I picked up on the IMF China credit report. The market actually hasn't really kind of responded to this, and sometimes the IMF do get it wrong. But basically what they're saying is the boom that we've seen in China has been overextended by, they reckon, about 2% over the past 3 to 4 years because of this extra credit in that market. Now, the IMF have flagged it up that this could be a bubble. And the situation is, if that bubble bursts, how will that affect certainly the US and the European economy? So we're looking at that. And one of the key things that I've drawn out from this report is the IMF are saying in the last 43 credit booms or bubbles, only 5 have resulted in not being an economic slowdown or crisis. So, I mean, that's important. I mean, if this does happen, this is China as well, and its tentacles are everywhere in the global economy. We see a bubble burst there, and it's bad news for everyone.
Good work. Right, let's, one to panic, I guess. But see, one to watch, BHP Billiton, what's happening there?
Yeah, Elliott Advisors, the American hedge fund, an activist, very activist. I think they're probably top of the table when it comes to activist investors. They get into boards, and they grow shareholdings, and they really kind of shake things up. And they're doing this with BHP Billiton. This has been an ongoing story for months now, but they've now raised the stake up to 5%. Now, what they're looking to do is say to BHP Billiton, we want you to be a miner. They're also a petroleum producer as well. Stop doing the petroleum, spin that out. We want you to be a pure miner, and we don't want you to be dual listed as they currently are. So they're being activists, they're shaking the tree, seeing what falls out. But the market likes it, actually. The stock's up a few percent today, but this is an ongoing story that I think will continue to play out over the coming months.
Understood. Currencies, the pound, euro, Great British pound, 90.91, and cable, the Great British pound against US dollar, 128.87. Quite interesting cable, a few videos on the website suggesting, and certainly in terms of the technicals, we're expecting, or the technical analysts are expecting the pound to go weaker.
Well, interesting enough, the pound has actually strengthened this morning. We've just had some UK jobs data out, and actually the data was better than expected. So this meant certainly cable has seen an uplift. The euro sold off against the sterling. Expected change in unemployment to come in at 4.5 has come in at 4.4. Average earnings expected to come in at 2%, has come in at 2.1. Not a huge beat, but certainly a positive for the pound, which is well needed over the recent performance that we've seen this week or so.
Right, broker upgrades, downgrades, Goldman Sachs, company BAE Systems, new recommendation, a conviction buy from a previous buy, 750 target, previous 742. Interesting, Goldman Sachs do tend to move markets.
They do, very much so. And if we can see here, and the viewers will see, previous target 742, moving to 750, not really changing much. But the key thing to look out for conviction. And when Goldman Sachs have conviction, as you rightly say, that does move the market. Now, the reason this is on, no pun intended, the radar, BAE Systems, they're saying they're underperforming the FTSE, for starters, so there's value there. And they're also trading in a wider than usual discount to their US peers. And Goldman Sachs focusing on the fact that BAE Systems have a contract with Saudi Arabia for their Typhoon fighter jets. They're not tea bags, they are Typhoon fighter jets. And that will look good over 2018 and 19. So, but the key thing, the word conviction, Goldman's like the use in the market
conviction.
do.
Okay, let's go to the core number, £160,000, British pounds. What's caught your...
Well, sadly, this is news, and it actually came out over the weekend, but I think it's quite current in the fact that we've been talking a lot about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, the £160,000 is the amount unfortunately lost by unwary investors. This was 9 investors, and this was through a boiler room scam. The boiler room scam was actually based in Old Broad Street, which is round the corner from Bank of England, so in the heart of the city. Now, why this is important is for viewers interested in Bitcoin, buyer beware, and be aware of who you're trading it through. It is an unregulated market, but you can buy or trade Bitcoin, more importantly, through regulated entities. These are FCA approved entities. These people have lost money. There's been a lot of chat about this. There's a lot of money potentially that has been made and could be made in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, but be very aware. Do your homework.
Know your counterparty.
Exactly.
Okay, let's wrap up this segment with the economic calendar. In terms of the US today at 1:30, housing starts and building permits, and at 7 o'clock, the mighty FOMC minutes.
Worth noting, as we're on air, the European Eurozone GDP numbers are out, so viewers, please take a look at that. Aside from that, the FOMC minutes is the big one today, certainly, as I've said already, for the dollar traders. Markets trading in a bit of a holding pattern, but we've got, as I say, FOMC tonight. That may drive us in the new direction.
Matt Brown, thank you very much indeed.